Listen closely. There's a sound beneath the noise of our busy lives. A low hum, a persistent vibration. It's the sound of a story coming undone. For generations, we believed in a simple equation. Hard work equals stability, safety, a good life. We followed the map they gave us. College, career, mortgage, retirement. We checked every box. But somewhere along the way, we began to notice something strange. The math stopped working. The numbers no longer added up to freedom. They added up to a different kind of sentence. A life spent running on a treadmill that kept accelerating, while the things that truly mattered, time, peace, security, joy, slipped further from our grasp. We found ourselves in the middle of a contradiction, working harder than ever to afford a life we were too exhausted to live, paying more for healthcare we were afraid to use, owning homes that felt more like financial hostages than havens. This wasn't the American dream. This was the American dilemma. And then, a quiet revolution began, not with protests or placards, but with passports and plane tickets. A pilgrimage of ordinary people who decided to ask a radical question. What if the problem isn't us? What if the problem is the map itself? There exists a secret, one that transforms everything. It's called geographic arbitrage. It sounds technical, but its truth is ancient. The same object has different value in different places. A single American dollar, exhausted and weary at home, can cross an ocean and become powerful again. It can transform from a unit of survival into a tool of liberation. This isn't about making more money. This is about changing what your money can do. I want you to picture Sarah, a graphic designer from a mid-size American city. Her salary, comfortable. Her life, cramped. Every month, her income arrived like a tide, only to be swallowed by the familiar sinkholes. Rent, car payment, insurance, student loans. She was treading water, and the shore kept receding. Then Sarah discovered Portugal. Not as a tourist, but as a possibility. She took her same salary, her same skills, and she transplanted them to Lisbon. Overnight, the entire equation changed. That oppressive rent payment now secured a sunlit apartment with a balcony overlooking a cobblestone square. The crushing car payment vanished, replaced by the simple elegance of walking everywhere. The constant, gnawing fear of medical debt dissolved into a system where care was affordable and accessible. Sarah didn't get a raise. She didn't win the lottery. She performed an act of financial alchemy. She moved her life to a place where her existing resources regained their power. The money that bought her survival at home now bought her sovereignty abroad. The surplus, that $2,000 a month she wasn't hemorrhaging anymore, wasn't just savings. It was her future, finally being built. The exodus flows not in one stream, but in three powerful currents. Each leads to a different shore. This is the Mediterranean sanctuary. It's not about being cheap. It's about the profound recalibration of value. You trade the stress tax of American life for a literal, lower financial tax, and in return, you receive the immeasurable wealth of time, security, and daily beauty. Here, the American struggle, a grinding equation of high taxes funding systems you cannot access, of exorbitant costs yielding diminishing returns, of working longer hours to afford less security, is replaced by a simpler, more elegant calculus. Let me paint the picture, not with broad strokes, but with the granular detail of a life rebuilt. Take Lena, formerly of Chicago. In America, she was a senior product manager, earning $142,000 a year, a prestigious title that masked a precarious reality. After 32% in federal, state, and FICA taxes, her take-home was $96,560, or $8,046 a month. Her one-bedroom in Logan Square, $2,300. Her monthly health insurance premium for a high-deductible plan, $480, with a $7,000 deductible that made her avoid the doctor. Her 401k contribution to have any hope of retiring, $1,200. Her student loan payment, $450. Her CTA pass, utilities, and baseline groceries, $900. Before her life even began, $5,330 was gone. What remained, $2,716, had to cover everything else. She was successful, but felt bankrupt of time, of ease, of the freedom to make a mistake. Her daily reality was a 55-minute commute each way, a constant low-grade anxiety about crime. Her car had been broken into twice, and the soul-crushing knowledge that a single medical event could erase years of scraping by. Now, meet Lena of Lisbon, Portugal. She secured a similar remote role with a US tech firm. Her gross salary, $135,000, under Portugal's NHR, non-habitual resident tax regime. Her foreign-sourced income is taxed at a flat 20%. Her take-home is now $108,000 annually, or $9,000 a month. More money in her pocket immediately, but the real transformation is in what that money purchases. In Lisbon's Saldanha neighborhood, she rents a bright, 2-bedroom apartment with marble floors, a balcony, and a concierge for $1,400, $1,520. She has no car. Her monthly metro pass is $40. Her comprehensive private health insurance through Medis, with dental and vision, is £65 a month, and a specialist visit costs £25 with no deductible. Her utilities for the efficient apartment are $120. Her food budget tells the story of abundance versus scarcity. In Chicago, $600 a month bought processed groceries from Jewel Osco. In Lisbon, £400 buys a weekly bounty from the Mercado de Arroyos. Fresh sea bream for £6 keys. Ripe tomatoes for 1.50 sazon keys. A wheel of Serra da Estrella cheese for £8. A bottle of excellent Douro wine for $5. Her daily lunch is a prato do dia at a local tasca. Soup, main course, dessert, coffee, and wine for £10. Her fixed monthly costs in Lisbon total $2,025, or about $2,200. She has $6,800 left, versus the $2,116 she had in Chicago. That difference, over $4,000, isn't just money, it's the capital that funds her new life. It pays for Portuguese lessons, weekend trips to the Azores, investing in a local startup, and saving with a velocity that was previously unimaginable. If the Mediterranean path is a quality of life upgrade, the Latin American path is a financial revolution. This is for those who look at the math of their American life and see a rigged game, where you pay first world prices for everything from dentistry to daycare, but receive third world outcomes in infrastructure, public safety, and peace of mind. Here, you stop playing that game. You take your American earnings to a place where they wield heroic, transformative power. Meet Carlos, formerly of Miami. He was a licensed therapist with a thriving private practice, grossing $95,000. After 30% in taxes and business expenses, his take-home was $66,500, or $5,540 a month. His 650 square foot apartment in a safe-ish part of Kendall, $1,150. His car payment and insurance, non-negotiable in Miami's sprawl, $650. His malpractice and health insurance, $700. His monthly cost for his own therapy to manage the stress of his practice and city life, $300. He was netting about $2,000 a month for living and saving, while constantly navigating a city with one of the highest costs of living and crime rates in the US. He felt trapped on a hamster wheel of his own making. Carlos moved to Medellin, Colombia. He transitioned his practice entirely online, serving his US clients via telehealth. His income remained steady. Colombia taxes him only on the portion of income brought into the country, and under its territorial tax system, he structures this efficiently. His effective tax rate drops to 15%. But again, the story is in the outflow. In Medellin's upscale El Poblado district, he rents a stunning, furnished, modern apartment with a gym, pool, and 24/7 security in a gated complex for $3,500 copay, or $900. He uses Uber for everything. A 20-minute ride costs $3. His monthly transport budget is $150. His top-tier private health insurance with Sura, offering better facilities and care than his Miami plan, costs $500,000 copay, or $130 a month, with no deductibles. His groceries from Éxito and the local verduleria, $250 a month, buys avocados at 3 for $1, fresh mangoes, and premium Colombian beef. A gourmet dinner out with wine costs $30. His fixed costs total approximately $1,430. From his $5,500 take-home, he now has over $4,000 left each month. This surplus has allowed him to cut his client load by 30%, reducing his burnout. He invested $20,000 in a passive real estate project in Colombia. He travels monthly to Cartagena, to the coffee axis, to Peru. His daily anxiety about crime has been replaced by the visible presence of neighborhood security and a culture that doesn't foster the same desperate inequalities. The contrast is stark. In Miami, his high income was consumed by the city's punitive costs. In Medellin, that same income makes him not just comfortable, but truly wealthy within the local context. He is living in the best neighborhood, eating the best food, receiving the best healthcare, and saving at a rate that will grant him financial independence in under a decade. He didn't get a raise. He changed the economic gravity of his life. In Asia, you aren't just saving money. You are purchasing the most valuable commodity of all: freedom to fail, to explore, to create, and to redefine success on your own terms, far from the oppressive metrics of the American grind. Consider Maya, formerly of Brooklyn. She was a freelance copywriter, hustling constantly to earn $75,000 in New York's saturated market. After 30% for taxes and business costs, she took home $52,500 or $4,375 monthly. Her 400 square foot studio in Bushwick, $2,100. Her Metro card, $127. Her catastrophic health insurance plan, $350. Her groceries from overpriced bodegas, $500. Her I live in New York self-care budget, therapy, the occasional cocktail, $400. She was left with about $900 a month, a thin buffer that evaporated with one freelance client paying late. Her creativity was strangled by financial anxiety. Her work became formulaic, safe. She was surviving her dream, not living it. Maya moved to Chiang Mai, Thailand. She kept her American clients, her income stable. Thailand taxes only income earned within Thailand, so her foreign-sourced remittances are untaxed. Her tax burden effectively drops to near zero. Now behold the budget of liberation. She rents a modern, Scandinavian-style studio in the Nimon area, with a pool, gym, and high-speed fiber internet for 15,000 THB, or $425. She buys a used motorbike for $1,000. Monthly gas is $20. Her comprehensive international health insurance from Cigna Global, $150 a month, granting her access to spotless hotel-like private hospitals where an appointment costs $15. Food is where the fantasy becomes real. She spends 15,000 THB, $425 a month. Exquisite khao soi from a street vendor is $1.50. A feast of grilled prawns, papaya salad, and sticky rice at a busy restaurant is $7. A latte at a hip cafe is $2.50. Her monthly fixed costs total roughly $1,020. From her $4,375 take-home, she now has $3,355 in monthly surplus. This surplus is not just savings, it is the foundation of her renaissance. She uses it to fund a 6-month novel-writing sabbatical. Every great migration faces trials. Ours are not of weather or wilderness, but of paperwork and psychology. To pretend otherwise is fantasy. To face them is how we earn our new story. The first dragon is bureaucracy. Visas, residency permits, tax filings. It's a labyrinth in a foreign language. The hero's tool here is not bravery, but strategy. You hire the local guide, the immigration lawyer who knows the twists. You find the fellow travelers in online forums. You conquer the maze once, to gain the prize forever. The second dragon is nostalgia. You will miss birthdays. You will crave a food you cannot find. You will have a day where you sit in your beautiful new apartment and wonder, what have I done? This is not failure. This is the necessary grief of metamorphosis. The antidote is not to replicate your old life, but to build a new community. One conversation, one shared meal, one moment of vulnerability at a time. The third dragon is the illusion of paradise. No place is perfect. There will be inefficiency. There will be cultural misunderstandings. The internet will go down on the day you need it most. But here is the crucial recalculation. You are not trading American flaws for foreign perfection. You are trading a system of existential financial risk for one of manageable inconvenience. You are choosing the frustration of a slow bureaucracy over the terror of medical bankruptcy. The math, even on its worst day, still favors your freedom. So where does it begin? Not with a sold house or a frantic goodbye. It begins with a question whispered in a quiet moment. What if? Your first step is not a leap, but a look. For the next 30 days, you become an archaeologist of your own future. You join the Americans in Portugal Facebook group and just read. You browse real estate listings in Merida on a site called Idealista, not to buy, but to prove to yourself that those beautiful homes at those impossible prices are real. You use a simple cost of living calculator to play with the numbers, watching your own financial future reconfigure itself before your eyes. You are not committing to a move. You are committing to a possibility. You are gathering evidence that the door you thought was locked is merely unopened. The old story was written in stone. Work, consume, hope. The new story is written in choices, in passports, in the courage to believe a different life is not just a fantasy, but a geographic reality. The American exodus isn't about leaving a country. It's about arriving at a life where you are richer because you need less, healthier because you fear less, more alive because you are finally trading your money for the one truly non-renewable resource, your time, your peace, your one wild and precious life. The map is being redrawn. The pen is in your hand. What will your next chapter say?